Marketer, I'm writing 3 words on this board. These 3 words begin a headline in a recent experiment. Engage X4. Now, let's analyze them, but before we do that, ask yourself a question. What are the first 3 words you're using right now on an important headline? An important headline in your email or in your landing page. So 3 words, Engage X4. These words were built by the brand in their best performing page. Notice, however, that the first word is engage. That is a sales word. And it actually tells you to do something the company wants you to do. Engage X. X stands for their brand. Engage X4. Indeed, the marketer writing this may be a superb communicator, but right now they're communicating the wrong message. Now, I'm not saying that as a matter of opinion. But in our lab, we've ran 20,000 plus treatments and experiments and tests like this. And we tested this. The new headline said, X, beginning with a brand, gives you. Those are the first 3 words we used. They could be improved. But even still, this approach, which began not with what the company wants you to do, but with what you can get from the company, that shift in orientation, that shift in messaging strategy was part of the new email that we sent. And the new email outperformed the old email by 104%. To be clear, the new email more than doubled the amount of leads. So what can we learn? There are 3 keys. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to unpack them. I want this to be as helpful and as dense as possible. Let's learn them together now. The power in this approach comes from an implied value proposition. It begins with the first key, a reason-centric copy. What does that mean? It means that you should focus the email not on what you want them to do for you, but the reason that they should. Let's compare the 2 headlines in full. Engage X for your physician's social media strategy. 8 words. Let's look at the next one. X gives you immediate access to over 120,000 doctors. That's 8 words in 1 number. And the difference is profound. The second approach gives you a reason, not just any reason, but a specific value proposition focused reason. It helps to answer this question. Why should I select your organization over XYZ? That is my other options. Why should I choose you over the other options? That brings me to the second critical concept, the second principle. Don't just use reason-centric copy, but use quantitative copy. Now, the second principle ties tightly into the first, because it's not enough to give them a reason. It's not enough unless they believe the reason you give. Let's compare the 2 approaches in these 2 emails. The first one says, need to engage. By the way, terrible. We're saying the same thing we said in the headline. We're saying it in a different way, and we're saying it in a confusing way. Need to engage practicing physicians? Learn how. I don't want to learn. I don't want to work, but you're now asking me to work. How to use, and it's the brand again, X, physician-only social media tools to conduct research and create product awareness. Long, drab, painful. Now let's look at the opening line of the second email. X is the largest social network of verified U.S. physicians representing 68 specialties. Physicians spend 35,000 hours per month on X discussing drugs, medical products, and procedures. Do you see how different the second approach is? It is giving you quantitative information. Studies have shown over and over again, studies in our own research program, that when we quantify, we help people believe. Now, instead of hammering them again with vague words and a notion of what we want them to do, we're giving them further reasons why they at least ought to put us in the consideration set. If they believe these reasons, they will also be believing the essence of the value proposition. So these first two principles are critical, but let me share a third and final principle: sequenced copy. Notice how the call to action for the first email is get started. Get is a word we often use in a call to action, but they use it in exactly the wrong way. Get started with a free 30-minute demo. Well, that sounds like a value to them, but that's not what I hear as a prospective customer. I have to start by obligating myself to giving you information so that I have to get on a phone call and listen to your people try to sell me. Every aspect of that call to action has implied negatives. What we've done in sequenced copy is we've matched the ask to the exact place they are in the sequence of thought. We don't optimize for web pages or emails. We optimize for the sequence of thought. So the call to action for the second approach is see how X works. Now, if you're a marketer and this is turning a light on for you, bear this in mind. We didn't learn these things without making horrific mistakes on our own. I'm embarrassed at the things I've done wrong over the years, but I continue to learn. The essence of marketing is the message. The essence of the message is the value proposition. And all of this comes down to psychology. There are two ways we can frustrate our best efforts. There are two flawed asks. These asks will mitigate the power of our message. An ask to the wrong person or an ask at the wrong time. Doing the right thing is more important than doing the thing right. The marketer must deliver the right message to the right prospect at the same time, or it is no longer the right message.